I love how today's the day I talk about rainbows and I'm wearing like all white. I guess my nails are a little bit rainbow. I mean, they're not rainbow. There's one color in the rainbow. I'm clouds today. Hello everyone, I'm here today to share with you guys a new Pinterest hacks tested, which actually in the process of finding it on Pinterest actually traced it back to BuzzFeed, which traced it back to Reddit. So I went into the world of Reddit, which I've never done before. I did not feel comfortable there. But it's all about this rainbow highlight, which originated with an Etsy shop called Bitter Lace Beauty, and I'll link her shop below. But she has been sold out of her rainbow highlight for a while now, and I was trying to get my hands on it to test it out because I thought it was really, really cool. And then I came across this DIY and I was like, well, this could be interesting. So I was bored one night and I decided to test it out. So I will link all of the original information in the info bar below in case you're interested in looking into it yourself, and all the original products that were used, I kind of used what I had on hand because I'm lazy and didn't want to go out to the store. So today I want to share with you how I created the rainbow highlight, what I thought of the product overall, and how it wore on the face. I also did a more wearable option with some blushes and highlights and things like that, in case you want something that's a little bit more wearable for the everyday occasion. Also, in the process of doing this, finding out some other hacks and ways in which I would make this even better. So without further ado, let's get into this. So first, let's talk about the rainbow highlight, and I'll talk about the ingredients that we need to recreate this. First of all, you are going to need some rainbow-esque eyeshadows. I found this palette through BH Cosmetics. These are actually foiled eyeshadows, and I thought, brilliant, then I don't have to add as much shimmer to the product afterwards because it's already shimmered, you know what I'm saying? Also, when I was looking through, I was trying to pick the most pastel shades as I possibly could because I felt like those would look the best on the face. I also took a more creamy vanilla highlight that I could add into all of them, sort of brighten them all up and sort of add this uniformity to the product. And you will need some rubbing alcohol, some sort of container for the actual eyeshadows to mix all the ingredients together, and try and keep the colors as separated as possible, meaning you want to keep them completely separated. Divide and conquer. So I chose a muffin tin because that is what the woman on Reddit did, but you could also do, I don't know, like an ice cube tray, or just, you know, keep them very separated. I don't know, whatever works best for you. You're gonna need some sort of stirring device, and the woman on Reddit used a toothpick, so that is what I decided to bring. And then you wanna use an empty pan. I wasn't sure what size to use, so I kind of just was winging it and also going with what I had available. And so I had this CoverGirl palette to use because most of the product had run out anyway, so I kind of scraped out the last little bits and used that as sort of my base for this. So the first thing that I did that I highly recommend if you're going to go through with this particular DIY is swatch all the colors in the order in which you want them to appear on your hand. That way when you look at it, you can be like, yes, that will look good on my face. I tried to keep the colors as similar to the original rainbow highlight as possible. Once I was happy with the order in which the colors would appear on my skin, then I broke up all the eyeshadows and I put them into their own individual pods. Not gonna lie to you, this hurt a little bit on the inside trying to do this because there's nothing more terrifying as taking like a brand new eyeshadow and then crushing it up into smithereens. But after a while, it was fun. Those first few seconds though, I was like, I can't do it, I can't do it. What I wanted to do is I wanted to choose the colors that I felt would be the most flattering on the skin. Only a little bit of blues, only a little bit of greens, but really make it orange and yellow and purples and pinks intense, you know? Then you wanna take some highlight and you wanna add it to each of the colors and then kind of mix it all together. So originally using a toothpick, I'm like, this is gonna take years. And I just don't have time for that. So I ended up taking the bottom half of a knife, you know, like a butter knife, not like an actual like, you know, like, Argh! We wanna be safe here. And then I just kind of smushed it all together to try and get all the lumps and bumps out and blend all the highlight in with the color. Then I took my rubbing alcohol and I put it into a spray bottle. And this is one of those travel spray bottles. And so I sprayed a little bit at a time, mixed it all together until it formed a paste. So I took the flat end of the butter knife and sort of scooped out the product and laid it sort of in rows. And I just kind of continued along as I was going until I created sort of this rainbow thing. The one thing that I will say in the process of doing this is you need a lot more product than you probably think that you do. I was like scooping out like half the thing of blue and I was like, that'll be enough. And then I was stirring it with the rubbing alcohol and I was like, oh, look at that. It'll be enough to fit on the end of a pin. So just as a heads up, you probably need the entire little pan in order to do this particular highlight, or at least for a palette the size of the CoverGirl palette. And once you have all of the colors in the order that you want and they're all kind of sitting in there nicely, then you're going to take a paper towel and you're going to press down gently to get rid of any of the excess rubbing alcohol that's in the product and kind of lay it out flat and smooth. Don't press too hard. You don't want all the colors kind of squished together. That kind of ruins the whole effect of the rainbow. So it's just pressing it down really, really gently. And the woman on Reddit was saying that you want to keep pressing until none of the color is remaining on the paper towel. And so I kept doing that, but there was this one purple color that kept showing up a lot of pink pigmentation. And I kept doing it over and over, and I was like, this isn't going away, so we're gonna stop now. I got to the point where it was mostly all the way gone, and then I just stopped and I let it air dry for 24 hours. And then you're done. So in doing my research and seeing what other people had done with this particular highlight, a lot of people use a really short bristled flat sort of contour brush. And I saw a lot of people using the NARS one, but I didn't want to go out and spend $60 on a brush. So I'm using one by Quo or QUO or whatever it is. I got this at Shoppers Drug Mart because I'm Canadian. The one thing is that this brush is curved because it's supposed to be a contour brush, but I didn't know that when I was buying it, so we'll see if this works. Whoa, can you guys see that? Look at that rainbow. Right there, rainbow, yo. Okay, now I'm gonna put it on my face. Okay, so I can see the fact that it's a rainbow, but I feel like you can probably only see a blue streak on my face. Am I right? See if I can get more of just the pinks and the oranges and yellows here. Okay, so that is what it looks like on the skin. I'll do a close-up so you guys can actually see what this looks like. Can I just move up? Because I don't want to have to, I don't have to rejig my camera. It definitely is rainbowy, but because the purple and the blue is so close together, it really just looks like I have a streak of bruising on my face. Which is not super attractive. So as it stands right now, this definitely works, but there are a couple things I would definitely do differently. Number one is I would not put the purple and the blue next to each other. It is too much like a bruise. We're not doing that again. I would either mix up the order in which colors appeared or completely eliminate the blue altogether and just do sort of like a minty green instead, and really punch up the yellows and the oranges and the purples and the pinks instead to really make it a wearable rainbow, if that makes sense. The other thing I would do is I would choose a smaller compact. I think this CoverGirl one was just a little bit too big, and if I wanted to look more like a rainbow highlight versus a rainbow streak on my face, I would want this to be a little bit smaller. And then lastly, something I actually realized yesterday, because I went out to the drugstore to pick up some new makeup. What else is new? And I came across this little number that is from Essence. And I feel like if I was gonna do this again, this is the way I would go, because this is so much cheaper. This was $5. This is the Essence All About Candies eyeshadow. Like, it's got all of the pastel colors that you would need to create a rainbow, all in this little compact, and it would be a really easy way to recreate that rainbow effect and still get that beautiful sort of a pastel-y sheen to the skin. So if I was gonna do this again, I would highly recommend trying it with this, because I think that would look beautiful. Now I'm gonna go take this rainbow off my face because I cannot take myself seriously right now. All right, that's better. Now let's talk about a more wearable option, shall we? What I really wanted to do was to create sort of a blush and highlight combo that would look really nice in the face and be easy to wear. So what I did is I took a bunch of the more highlighty shades from the original eyeshadow palette and I placed them in order from the lightest to the darkest. And then I put together a bunch of blushes. So I took the Benefit Cosmetics Rockateur and I took a Sonia Kashuk one that I had, and I started kind of mixing them together and creating this nice ombre effect that would look really pretty on the skin. And then I just put it into the pans again. By the way, the pans did get cleaned, just in case anyone was curious. I could wash them. I put them all into the pans again, added in a little bit of highlight to again create more of a unity to the product, and mix it all together, put it in the pan, blah, 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 blah. This is what it ended up looking like, right, on the skin. I think that would look nice. So let us test this out and see what it ends up looking like. I'm scared this is gonna look like a streak of blush on my face. Oh, looks nice. A little bit streaky, and I could blend that out with like another brush, right? I'm gonna blend that out a bit. That looks nice. I like that. What do you guys think? That's super wearable. I'm gonna do that to the other side. I am pressing harder on the highlight side than I am on the blush side because I know the blush is fairly pigmented, so I'm just trying to eliminate, you know, lots of streakiness on my cheeks. But like, that's pretty nice. I'm quite stoked about this. I think overall, this was quite successful. I mean, the only thing is that you kind of have to blend it a little bit, otherwise it's a little bit on the streaky side for me, but that also might be the brush that I'm using, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Overall, I think that was really fun, and if you want to create more of a customizable product and you enjoy doing DIYs, I think this is pretty great. And that's everything for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more of these Pinterest hacks tested, and if you have any requests for future videos, leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, or check me out on all of these social media-esque things in case you're interested in seeing what I'm up to on a regular basis. Hint, it's mostly laundry, eating chocolate chip cookies, and watching Netflix. I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing day so far, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you girls. Mwah!